Greetings. Welcome to Homebrew Highlights, a little show where I talk about homemade content for Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Nathan. For the last 25 years online, I've used the name the Amethyst Dragon. For more than 30 years now, I've been a player and dungeon master, so I've made a lot of homebrew content in my time. Since switching to 5th edition, the pace of that has increased, and I make too much to use even in my 2 weekly home campaigns, so I post it online for you and anyone else to use in your own games. In this series of videos, I'm going to be highlighting some of the stuff that I've made, stuff that I've found online that other people have made, and rather than focusing on the numbers and the balance side of things, I like to look at the thoughts and the ideas behind the homebrews, or how they can be used, what inspired the creation of that homebrew. So that's a little bit different take on things. Today I'm going to be highlighting homebrew content that has to do with food and drinks. Everybody needs to eat and drink, even our imaginary characters in our shared imaginary worlds. Talking about food is fun sometimes, and everybody likes something. So it's a little tie-in to bring a little realism into the game. If you like these sort of videos and content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post something new. And, if you like these sort of things and you think other people would be interested, go ahead and share this video or a link to my website. Let other people know that you like this stuff too. Anyway, we're just going to get right into it. The first one we're going to talk about today started as a joke by another player in a game that I was in briefly. He played a Minotaur barbarian, and toward the end of the campaign, he, made it quite clear that his character never eats meat. That's because he was a vegetarian barbarian. Now, totally funny pun, play on words, bit of a dad joke, inspired me to create a barbarian subclass, which I did that very night before I went to sleep. So this is called the Path of the Vegebarian, because it is the vegetarian barbarian. Now, these particular barbarians are really into, eating fruits and vegetables and being healthy and, making sure that other people know that they're doing the right thing and that their diet is better for you and things like that. And they get some fun features that kind of play on that. One of the things, they get one called an apple a day. That's right away at 3rd level. You get a benefit from eating the superior fresh fruits and vegetables. So if you are eating such foods during a short rest, and you spend at least a hit dice to heal during that short rest, and if at least one other creature can see and hear you eating that fresh produce, you get to heal additional hit points equal to your barbarian level. Because you got to make sure other people know that you're eating healthy in order to, get the maximum benefit from it. Totally playing on, playing up the vegetarian vegetable aspect. They get a feature called Garden's Wrath, where they can take any plant matter and basically use it as a weapon that they're proficient with. It could be improvised. Otherwise, they get to add the proficiency bonus to it. It could be stalk of corn, that's nice and long and easy to hit with. It could be, a very large zucchini, whatever. No matter what type of vegetable plant matter it's made out of, it inflicts a 1d6 bludgeoning damage, or piercing, or slashing, whatever your DM determines what type of damage it would most likely cause getting hit with that type of plant. And then as you go up in level, the damage dice increases, D8, D10, D12, so that eventually you're doing as much damage as, somebody with a great axe. But you're doing it with vegetables or plants. It doesn't have to actually be food, but, I would encourage it to be. Eventually they get a feature called Barbarian, and that lets you cast Goodberry once a day and Magic Stone spells. Magic Stone, instead of imbuing pebbles with magic and throwing those, it actually conjures little berries and imbues those with magic that you can then throw at things. And it uses your strength as your spellcasting modifier, because people aren't doing saving throws with it. It's really for attacking with. So I thought it works, and you're throwing them anyway, just really hard. And with Goodberry, you only get a couple of options here. You get either a small, crisp, delicious apple instead of a berry, or for each berry, or you get a crunchy, spicy pepper. Those are your two choices, but it's really good for your apple a day feature, and the pepper can come in handy later. Eventually they have a feature called Clearly Superior Diet, where if you're fighting somebody, well, you know the superiority clearly of an all-plant diet, and you get to wield that knowledge against foes. And whereas some barbarians might frighten people, this one kind of demoralizes them. You get to basically deride a foe that eats meat. Telling about how much time and effort and land is wasted just to produce that meat, how your food is more plentiful, and how meat might even be bad without a campfire and even a little bit of seasoning. Whereas fresh produce or even cooked produce is so much better and so much better for you. They have to make a saving throw, or they feel bad about themselves and have disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks until the end of your next turn. Because, clearly being a vegetarian is far superior. And then their last feature is something I call a little spicy. When they go into a rage, they can eat a hot pepper, and they actually start to turn orange and red during their rage, and the body kind of emanates the whole area about 10 feet around shimmers almost like it's a really hot day in the desert, kind of a mirage thing going there. And any creature that gets too close actually takes damage. But it's not fire damage, it is psychic damage. Because it is hot and spicy, it's not actually causing damage, it's just pain. Constructs and elementals and undead are barely affected, they only take 1 damage. Everybody else takes 2d6 just from being too close to you. No save, no attack roll, it just happens. That's where those hot spicy peppers can come in handy. So that's the path of the Vegebarian. Just something a little fun. Started as a joke, stays as a joke, but hey, sometimes you gotta play characters like that. Another thing I came up with I call it the Goblet of the Dragon's Mirth. In one of my campaigns, a group of characters decided that since there was a path up this mountain, they would go just because it was there. It took them a while to climb up. They finally reached the summit, and they encountered a silver dragon. This dragon had been amused by watching them try to get up this mountain, and then it was pleased when they were very cordial and nice. After this hard, long climb, they were still nice at the top, and it decided to gift each of them with a magical goblet. And this goblet has like little dragon designs on the outside, and when they put a silver coin in it, think about a drink they've had before, coin vanishes, the cup fills with the drink. And they have used that so much. It has been quite a money sink over the time they've had that, because, hey, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to spend some more silver and have something to drink. No, I'm going to show off this magic goblet to this person and this person and this person and this person. They spend a lot of money just showing off these goblets to people. So they have a lot of fun with them. And that is the Goblet of the Dragon's Mirth. And then at the same time that I did that, I'm like, that's a cool effect. I'm going to turn that into a spell. So I have the cantrip Conjure Beverage. So based on both the goblet and there's a an end credit and part of a scene for a crossover with Thor and Doctor Strange, where Thor gets a drink and it is continually refilled. This cantrip, Conjure Beverage, takes a silver coin and fills a container with a beverage. It's kind of expensive for beverage if you're having just cheap ale or whatever, but it can make any non-magical beverage that you've had before. So I wouldn't let it do it with poison, because that's not a beverage. Not really. But, ales, wines, beers, milk, water, whatever you want. If you were in the middle of a dungeon and you just need a drink, 3 weeks away from the nearest tavern, you know what? Drop a coin in, cast a spell, have your drink. That's Conjure Beverage. Another food-related cantrip that I made up with one is this one called Mystical Seasoning. And basically you flavor a dish, and it is absolutely delicious. It's not the caster's choice of what the flavor is. The spell basically goes into the mind of the eater and draws on a flavor there that they think is absolutely delicious, the best thing ever, and it uses that flavor. It could be a taste from their childhood. It could be something they had once at a fancy restaurant and it was their absolute favorite thing. The spell will replicate this without the caster having to decide on that flavor. So it's guaranteed that whoever eats it is going to like it. Now, thinking of eating things, recently came up with a holiday-related one. I call these cookies of good cheer. These are totally holiday Christmas cutout cookies with decorative frosting on them. A very popular thing in my house. We have a family recipe we use. But these cookies are magical, and after you eat one, it fills you with hope and good cheer. And so you have, it is much more difficult to make you afraid for an hour. And it gives you an inspiration die that you can use during that hour on ability checks and saving throws, but not attack rolls, because that's not nice and cheerful. But ability checks and saving throws, it is a wonderful cookie to have. Just eat them up before they go bad, because they do spoil. You gotta enjoy it while it's fresh. And that's the cookies of good cheer. Another drink, I went with a non-magical thing. There was a month where I did an entire month of drink-related homebrews, and this is one of them. I call it Sea Leg Sam's OK Rum. And the label on it has kind of a cartoonish sailor, and it actually said on there, Sea Leg Sam says, you're going to be okay. Or, it's going to be okay. It says that right on the label. And the rum, it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. But there's certain herbs mixed into it that cure and prevent seasickness. So this is actually a really popular thing on ships. Especially for, them landlubbers that ain't got the sea legs yet. This helps out. It is Sea Leg Sam's OK Rum, because you'll be okay. Now, going into other people's homebrews related to food and drinks, one of the first ones I found when I was searching a few days ago is called, let me read this here, Pawa Tribe's Fantastical Butter. This is by a user online. It goes by Hicks Homebrews. And this is a special magical butter that comes in a cool little clamshell holder that keeps it cold and fresh. It is made by otter folk in this person's game. Could be in your game. But these otter folk, instead of being like reclusive, they like to trade with people that ply the rivers, and probably make a whole bunch of money from this really, really good butter. So, yeah, this description starts off with flavor text about the otter folk, and then goes into how delicious this butter is. Once you get to the mechanical description, you see that if you add some of the butter to something you're eating, spread it on your toast or your bagel, or mix it in with your mashed potatoes. But then you have a day to eat whatever you mixed it in with, and it heals you. That's just how great this butter is. Those otters know their stuff. Eventually, like I think it said 3 weeks later, it will go bad if you don't use it up. So this is one of those consumable things that you need to consume. Don't just hoard it for years and years and years and years and think you might need it for a big battle sometime and never use it. Use it up before it goes bad. Enjoy the butter. Enjoy the beverages. Enjoy the cookies. Enjoy the food and drink. Just don't hold on to it. So that is the Pawa tribe. Pawa tribe is, the name of this tribe of otter folk that makes this butter. So it is the Pawa tribe's Fantastical Butter by Hicks Homebrews. Next one I have, the artwork kind of caught my attention for it. I'm not going to show it here though because I'm not exactly sure of the source of it, but this is the Dragon Breath Pepper. This was created by a Reddit user named BetterCallBobLoblaw. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Right there on the screen. And reading this, I immediately thought, oh, this is like a take on the cartoons where somebody eats a hot pepper and, you know, maybe their face turns all red and then they just like breathe fire. Well, these, you eat a hot pepper, you get to breathe fire immediately once. It's like the same damage and size as the Dragon's Breath spell from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, but it's just once. You're not doing it for every turn for a minute. But these come in different varieties. You have your hot peppers that, your hot red peppers that you breathe fire, and you've got other colors and other flavors of peppers with other breath weapons. Cold, acid, lightning, and poison basically covers all the chromatic ones. These peppers come in the different colors. I would say they probably come in different flavors too. But yeah, you chew on a pepper and you can immediately breathe fire. Or you can try to hold on to it, keep it in for a short time. There's a DC to do that, but then you can release it if the opportunity isn't ideal right away. So that is the Dragon's Breath Pepper by BetterCallBobLoblaw. BetterCallBobLoblaw. That's actually kind of difficult to say. But it's a fun pepper. Now, another thing I have here that I found was a drinking establishment. This is by a user named TomeoMei, and it is called Dragon's Drinks. It's a bar or a tavern that you can drop into pretty much any campaign. And it is run by a pair of brothers who get along with everybody, and they are secretly dragons in disguise that just want to hang out with regular everyday folk and get to know them better, share tales, share jokes, share drinks. This establishment comes with a menu of drinks that you can order, and it kind of comes in two varieties for each drink. You can have it just regular drinks, and they're expensive but still affordable. Wide variety of flavors from all sorts of different sources. Or if you want to be more adventurous as a DM, you can allow them to have additional magical effects. Never mind that. Additional magical effects where if they drink it, they got to make a saving throw. If they fail, they're poisoned for a short time, but if they make it, they get a special benefit. Each drink has a different benefit and a different saving throw DC. So that's just sounded like fun. It's called Dragon's Drinks, and it's a drinking establishment run by dragons secretly. And just reading through all the drink descriptions on the menu was fun. So you should go check that out. Oh, by the way, anything I talk about today, there will be links directly to those in the description. So don't worry about trying to look these up on Google. The links will be right there. Take you right to them. Well, that's pretty much it for today's content highlights. Remember, if you like this, give it a like, subscribe, share it with other people. Thanks definitely go out to my generous patrons over on Patreon that support these videos, and much more importantly, they support the continued creation of more and more and more homebrews. I post every 2 to 3 days on average. There's months where I posted every day. Sometimes I'll post more than once a day. just depends on how I'm feeling and what I really need to get out there and share with people. So I want to, even if you don't become a patron and get access to all my content, I do thank you for dropping in, watching this video, listening to me talk about homebrew food and drink stuff. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to go make some new homebrews. I'm not sure, maybe something holiday related. I've been working on a Secret Santa project on a different Discord channel, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you again for stopping in. I'm Nathan. This has been Homebrew Highlights with the Amethyst Dragon. Have a good week. Actually, a good couple weeks. I'll be back in a couple weeks. I'm going to take a week off because next Friday is Christmas Eve. Family time. Anyway, I'll see you in a couple weeks with a brand new video highlighting more homebrews. Take care.